How's it going, everyone? Dax here, and today we're checking out Dunkey's newest video, revisiting The Last of Us. This is kind of a scary moment for Dunkey, just wanting controversy after controversy, because he recently wrote something on Twitter, which was spoilers or whatever, and then I think the last thing that he annoyed people about was liking The Last of Us 2. So going back and revisiting The Last of Us is kind of like him, I don't know, is he trying to annoy people on purpose? Which I hope he is, because it'd be quite funny. I like the drama he's creating, because he's just annoying people that shouldn't really be annoyed. But yeah, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really a big fan of The Last of Us or The Last of Us 2. I think The Last of Us 2 kind of made me not like The Last of Us even more. I feel like it's overhyped and overpopular. That's just an opinion of mine. Or if you hate it, it's what I feel. Anyway, we're going to get straight into the video before I talk myself into you hating me even more. Let's get straight into it. And away we go.
If you asked me what's the top classic game I would want to come to PlayStation 5,
Classic
I
game?
would say Metal Gear Solid 2. You know I love
Oh, okay,
Metal Gear Solid
yeah.
2. Now that game, that's the game. Or
Oh.
Snake.
Is he going to roast them for bringing The Last of Us again, probably to next gen, is what they're probably doing, because they literally remastered The Last of Us like 10,000 times by now.
Alright, Snake Eater is badass. Or what about Metal Gear Solid 4? That thing is still landlocked to the PS3. You know what? I'll even take the Twin Snakes, okay? But you know what game I would never even think to suggest? The Last of Us. And that is because The Last of Us is already on the PS5. Eventually, they are going to remaster every video game that has sold over 10 copies. Alan Wake was remastered, and that game only sold 2 copies. So on one hand, it makes sense to remaster one of the PS3's greatest video games. Naughty Dog is doing a big push with this franchise. They're doing a TV show. They're making a standalone multiplayer shooter, which will probably be the most financially lucrative thing they've ever produced. And Last of Us Part 1 is going to be the first time this series appears on PC. So from that angle, it makes sense to try and really wow players who've never been able to get at Naughty Dog stuff before. On the other hand, why are you remastering The Last of Us? The original version of this game still looks and plays better than most video games coming out today.
He's not
Look
wrong.
at this new Saints Row that just came out. I thought this shit was an Xbox 360 launch title. This is mine, bro.
Wait, do not
Oh,
pursue.
no shot.
What?
I didn't even know Dunk played this
PlayStation
game.
5 has been out for almost 2 years now.
Yeah,
Still,
oh, wow.
the only way to get one is to buy it at an inflated price
That's
from a scalper.
crazy,
and the 2
right?
biggest titles on the console are remastered PS3 games that cost $70.
Console's sadly dying because they're
I think
not
this
releasing
guy
them.
summed it up pretty nice though, comparing this to the 4K collector's box set of RoboCop. This is something that is very excessive, very expensive, but also really cool to have.
Okay. Again, it's the same story, just with better graphics. Like, just play the other one. You already have it. It's like, it's a lot of walking.
When I
Generally am
first
not a
played
fan
The
of this
Last of
game.
Us in 2013, I gotta admit, I was pretty underwhelmed. From like 2008 to 2010, everything was zombies, Dead Rising,
Yes.
The Walking
Oh
Dead,
my
Left 4
god.
Dead.
I'm so done with the zombie genre. It's just every single game. Like he's saying now, I completely agree.
Dead Island, Dead Space,
Yep.
Call
They're
of
bringing
Duty
out another
put
Dead
zombies
Island.
in, Yakuza
Yep.
put zombies, Red Dead put
Bringing up that.
zombies. So here
Yep.
comes Naughty Dog. They go, hey, get this. We have an all-new idea. Zombie video game. Off. The premise is so obvious, so cliche. You wake up in City 17
I've never agreed
and
more
there's
with
going to
him.
be a rebel faction, and we're going to go through the scary zombie part of town. It's Half-Life 2 meets Up, minus the gravity gun, the robot, and the flying house. So pretty much all
Nice. So all the unfun parts. I pretty much agree that this ain't even a zombie game, though, because the zombies in the game aren't zombies. They're creatures. They're weird creatures, and it doesn't even come under the zombie. You hardly see zombies. It's more about relationships, and
fun parts, that's
don't
gone.
care.
You stupid idiot dog company. Go back to making doggy bones or some shit. But then I play it again. And I go, wait a minute. And I make that exact noise. Then I realize this game is pretty good, actually.
no.
See? Oh, Michael, this is a parable that I have to go to work in this office. Now watch this. Exactly. Exactly. Last of Us.
Okay, the little
It's
things are
Neil
cool,
Drunkman's
but no.
famous quote is, "Simple story, complex characters." Basically, what he's saying is the complete opposite approach of Kingdom Hearts. What makes The Last of Us such a landmark in video game history is that it is maybe the first video game where people act and talk like people. In most video games, dodgy, formal way of talking to each other, where one character says their sentences, then your turn, your character says their sentences, and it just goes back and forth perfectly, without error.
Ethan, can you please help me?
I'm coming.
Okay, but the door.
Ethan, can you please help me?
Yeah, right about dialogue, and the door is not even on the hinges.
I'm coming.
But you're already there. When people actually talk to each other, the tempo of the conversation is very sporadic. We interrupt each other.
Eventually,
Well, the other one was a cutscene going into gameplay.
it's gonna blow up in your face.
We talk over each other. We respond non-verbally. Sometimes we don't respond at all because we weren't paying attention.
Can we please just get on with it?
Cutscene.
Here. Let's get on with it.
Right in its opening sequence.
I'm talking about gameplay dialogue. This is all cutscene dialogue. Of course it's going to be, like, crisp. It's like watching a movie.
The Last of Us slams you with one of the most devastating scenes I've ever seen in a video game, and it's about two characters you don't even know yet. Compare this to the part of Devil May Cry 4 where Dante loses Trish.
I'm the one to fill your dark soul with light.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, fine. But this is an old game, okay?
It's not supposed to be really funny like how it is in video games. You have the scene where Tess is laying out her dying wish on Joel. She leans in and really plays up that desperation. It's total.
But is it not also a character that I do not care about, again, that I've only known for 3 minutes of the game because she's literally in it for, like, not even a 1/16 of the game?
Delusion. But Tess wants to go out thinking she was the hero, that her sacrifice saved the world, and it's telling of not only their relationship, but Joel as well, that she has to pull out the big guns and really guilt trip him into taking up her quest. The reason why Last of Us is able to execute such tricky scenes is because it really is about us. This game is all about dissecting what it means to be human.
More about her.
Joel is nearly identical to the clickers that plague the landscape. He is an ugly, hopeless man going through the motions and killing indiscriminately with complete emotional detachment. He doesn't even like video games.
I was never a big fan of these things.
What a sicko. When Tommy gives him a photo of his daughter, what does he do?
I'm good.
Lol.
You sure? I mean,
Get
I said
rolled.
I'm good.
To aliens playing this game, they're going, what the is wrong with this guy? But to us, people, we get it. Time and time again, we see Joel compartmentalize traumatic events, and when Ellie tries to talk about them, he shuts that shit down. He says, nope, we're not talking about Tess, we're not talking about Henry, we're not talking about Sarah, we're not talking about Jeff Goldblum. Yet at the same time,
Not Jeff Goldblum.
very
What?
early into the game, you see him starting to slip back into that father role, and he's still wearing the watch that his daughter gave him. That intrigue of reading faces and mannerisms and trying to psychoanalyze characters is something I associate with the great films like Godfather or The Shining. It's a form of storytelling I never thought video games would be able to achieve. With Uncharted, Naughty Dog toyed around with this story structure of exploring levels with your AI companion.
Look, Sully, your first car.
Oh, man. That's a 1927 Auburn.
That back and forth dialogue feels so much more natural when it's them reacting to things that you can see and experience with them. Last of Us is a very atmospheric game, full of incredible sights and sounds, but to me, the boundary-pushing element is its dedication to characters over plot. This approach has influenced many of the best games of last generation, like Uncharted 4, Spider-Man, God of War.
There's also a lot of standing around admiring the scenery. It's like the developers are like, it took so long to make this level. Stand and look at the giraffe. But that's just maybe me.
Or in even Red Dead Redemption 2. A story that you see
Red
repeatedly in the background of this game is how when people show their humanity, when they finally let their guard down and do the right thing, their reward is death. This is an idea cemented into every human being in this game. It's something that Joel understands better than anyone, and yet in the right circumstance, even he says, F it.
Well, no matter how hard you try, I guess you can't escape your past.
You ain't gonna make it.
I wasn't wrong. Wasn't wrong. Spoiler alert. Wasn't wrong. Okay, good video. I think Last of Us 2 also shadowed my thoughts on Last of Us 1. It's kind of killed it. I feel like it's like Game of Thrones final season. Final 4 episodes destroyed an entire season for like the entire franchise for me. I've not even tried the new Game of Thrones TV show. I don't know. I think when it first came out, I thought people were overreacting. It can't be that bad. I saw it for myself, and it's like they kind of tried to rewrite The Last of Us 1, make it sound so bad. They tried to make Joel's actions so bad that it made the consequences for Last of Us 2 being a thing. And it just kind of killed my mood for the original Last of Us, I'm not going to lie. And the fact that they keep remastering a game that's completely fine in graphics anyway is just beyond me. They keep doing this with GTA. It's like, who gives a crap? You literally released the same game 18 times. I don't know. I hate remasters because they're remastering games that don't need to be remastered. I need to go back, further back to maybe PlayStation 1 days, maybe PlayStation 2 days at least, and start remastering games like that and bringing them into the platform to show people what we used to have, instead of remastering newer games that have already like been in the industry. We've seen them. Like, the only people that wouldn't have seen them have to be the youngest of generations, and they shouldn't be old enough to play them games. So it's kind of dumb, in my opinion. But anyway, that was a good video. I really enjoyed it. Sorry if I was a bit of a downer in this video, but I'm not a big fan of the game anymore. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment what you'd like me to react to next, subscribe if you're new or just haven't yet. I will see you in the next video. Later.